Hi guys, it's Crystal. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have two super cute shirts that I'm working on. This is for my sister-in-law. Her daughter has type 1 diabetes and her friend, and they are going on a fun Disney trip. So these are the shirts that she wanted. So I went to Etsy and I found the alpaca, and then this font here is Skinny Things from Font. I'll have those linked down in the description as well, and I'll show you here in a minute where I got these from. And then this is Rosie. So if you want to look on Etsy to try to find her, her name is Rosie, but I'll have the link to the one that I purchased in the description below. And then I'll talk about, after we iron these on, how to kind of work with this image because it was a little bit crazy coming in. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with this one since it's a little bit easier. So I'm going to move this one out of the way. Now, she just picked both of these shirts up from Hobby Lobby, and they are Creation Grace. And I believe, yeah, so they're both the same. So Creation's Grace. So what I'm going to do, and I think I've got a little bit of glare here, I'm going to use that same 12 by 12 mat, and these fit on here perfectly. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this here. I've already got this exactly where I want it, so all I need to do is press it for 305 for 30 seconds. So get it on just like this, and the brand that I'm using is Caesar. All right, so this is a hot peel, so all we got to do is go ahead and start peeling it. Just like that, everything looks good. And then here in just a little bit, so once again, this color, you can see a little bit of discoloration, and it'll go away once it dries here in just a second. So there it is. So it says Disney Alpaca, my diabetes stuff. Super cute. This alpaca had a little bit of detail on it. So it was just a little bit, it wasn't too bad at all. So there's that one, one's down. And let's get the other one. So this one's going to be a little bit of layering. So I thought it would be good. So all I did was just laid the pieces on top so I could figure out exactly where it was going to go. I have this one also exactly where I want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just peel off the other pieces that I have on top, just like this. All right, so this all is one piece. So let me kind of zoom you guys in just a little bit. So this is all just one piece. I put this, whenever I put the type 1 diabetes and warrior, I had it all cut out of this one piece. So let's go ahead. I may have to hit this two different times. So let me see, and I'm going to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get it on here for 305 for 30 seconds. Same thing at Caesar vinyl. All right, so I'm going to move that out of the way. And what I'm going to do is just move my shirt all the way up to where I've got to go back on it. So I don't have to re-go over the same thing again since we've got a layer. And I'll drop this down. Now I'm going to give it more pressure to this way since I have this little piece down here. Okay, so once again, this is a hot peel. So we just got to peel it while it's warm. You can also, on the hot peel, you can also peel it while it's cold, whichever way. So there is that. Now you can save this piece, so if you're doing layering and you do, like if you want to protect your vinyl, you could also use these to cover those pieces again. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that now, because I get that question a lot. I don't usually cover mine up, but I'm going to go ahead and show that today. So the next piece that I want to layer here is I'm going to go ahead and get her headband on. What I'm going to do is just go ahead and line this up. All right, so just like that. So what I could do at this point to protect everything else is just take that sheet and completely cover it all back up, just like that. And then I'm just gonna get right up here. So 305, 30 seconds. And what I'll actually do, since I've got to go over it again, I'm just gonna do 10 seconds. Pull this up, just like that. Take off the other piece, so I'm going to keep using this. I don't want to go over it too long since we've got a few more layers to go. So the next piece that I'm going to go ahead and get here is her lips. So I'm just going to go ahead and line those up. Go ahead and do those one at a time so that way I make sure that they're not going to overlap. So once again, I'm just going to completely cover her up, and I'll just give it probably about 5 seconds or so. All right, just like that, then we'll peel it up. Get the next piece. All right, so I'm gonna take that same sheet again, cover the whole thing, 5 seconds. All right, cut off the plastic piece. And the last thing that we have is going to be 2 separate pieces is the ribbon. Half of it is blue, half of it is gray. So what I'm going to do is kind of line this up where it's going to go and get the gray down first. There should be a little tiny red blood drop that goes on here as well that I've already lost. So after the video here in a minute, I'll just have to recut that out, and that's going to go on top of the ribbon. So I'm going to go ahead and get my gray down. Let's see. Right about here. So I'm going to go ahead and peel the blue piece off. And then same thing, I'll drop it down for about 5 seconds, and then on the last one, I'll go over it for another 25 seconds since I did 5 seconds on everything else. All right, peel this back up. There we go, and it peeled the other little piece up with it, so that's good. Now we just got this blue piece. And like I said, I'll have to come back and recut out that blood drop here in a minute. All right, so that looks good just like that. So now this time, since this is our last layer, I'm gonna go over it for 25 seconds. All right, so now I can peel this whole thing off and everything is good to go. So there it is. I'll zoom you guys in a little bit. So there it is. Isn't that super cute? All right, love the way this one came out. So now let's go ahead and get over to Cricut Design Space so I can show you how to bring an SVG into Cricut Design Space from Etsy. So let's go ahead and go over to Etsy first. So this is the alpaca that I got. And let me come over here really quick. Okay, so let's start with the alpaca. It's not gonna show the price anymore because I purchased it was $2.99 and I got it from Randy Graphics. So like I said, I'll also link it down below. That one worked out perfect. And then on the other one, Rosie. Okay, for Rosie, I purchased this one from Nick Designs. So, and this one was $4.99. So there's that one. So when you order these, you'll have them for life. So let me go ahead and show you how to download these. So if you go over to if you go like this one right here, so let's start with Rosie. So I'm gonna go, well actually let's start with the alpaca, the easy one. You're gonna hit view receipt and then see where it says download files. So you're gonna click on download files and right here it says download. So you're just gonna hit download. It should jump right up here if you have a Mac. If not, go wherever your downloads go. So I'm gonna click on that. So this one right here, the design, whichever one it comes up as, so there it is. It'll also come in as EPS, which is for embroidery, and then you've got PNG and SVG. So the SVG is right here. So what I do is I kind of scoot my screen over like this. I go to my Cricut Design Space, and I go to upload an image. And right here, so you click upload image again, scoot it over, and all I do is grab the SVG and drop it right here. All right, so we can drop that down. So this is what it's going to come up as. It's way different from if you bring in your own file and try to clean it up. There's no cleaning up anything like this. You're just going to leave it like that, and then you're going to name your design. So I would name this one alpaca, just like that, and hit save. So here it is. So all you would do is click on it and click insert image. So it'll come in just like this, and I'll change the color to black. And then on this one right here, all these colors, they're individual. So all I have to do is like select it like this and hit attach, and then click to change it to black, just like that. All right, so now it's all black. So you just want to attach it to make everything together, because this one, so all files are going to be different. This one right here was a pretty easy file. It just came separated. You just need to attach them, because unless you want to do these pieces separate, this one's easy. So now I wanted mine to face in the other direction, so all I do was flip it. So that's how you would work with something as simple as this one. Okay, so now let's go mess with Rosie. So let's go back over here to Etsy. So once again, you're going to come to where your purchases are, which you just go to you, and then you go to purchases and review. And then I'm going to click on this one here, which it actually, let me back it up. If you go to purchases, right next to it, you can see where it says download files. I'm going to click on it, hit download. Once again, it's going to jump right up here. Click on it. This one is just called number 2. Everybody names them differently. This one also comes with the embroidery file, a JPEG, a PNG, and an SVG. So this is the one that was a little bit tricky. So let me show you how to do this one. Same thing, you're going to go to Cricut Design Space, go to upload, and then you're going to go to upload an image, scoot your screen over, and drag this in there. You could always hit browse and then go to downloads and find it that way as well. I just find it easier this way. So drag it in there just like that. I'll drop this down. So this is what it looks like. Once again, you don't have to fuss with anything. And I'm going to name this one Rosie. And save. All right, so now let me show you what happens. So you see it right here just like this. So when I click on it, I'm going to click insert image. And this is where the problem is. So I'm going to show you how to fix it. Now, not all files. So far, the files that I've purchased, I haven't had any issues with, and I will email them because there may be just an issue with the Cricut file. It may not work it may not be messed up with Silhouette, but I just want to show you this is a good example of how to work with something like this. So when you bring it in, this is what happens. So you would think, oh no, this file's messed up. I'm going to have to, find another one or get my money back. And it's as easy as this to fix it. So you're going to go through here just like this. So like on these ones right here, obviously if you take off the heart, you would just hit hide, and it's going to take off these, like it would take these pieces away. Just like that. So you're going to scroll down till you start to find some weird shapes like this one. So this one right here should be one, so I'm going to hit hide. I'm just hitting the eye. And it does lag just a little bit, I think, since there's so much of the file. And you can see that it just took out this piece right here. So now I'm going to go find her face. You can see how, let me zoom that y'all in on that. See how I can obviously see that's the shape of her face? I'll hit the eye on that one, and then there it is. All right, so the same thing, I'll keep going. So I'll kind of just hit an eye piece, and like I said, it lags a little bit, and just kind of see what piece that messes with. If nothing really happens, then I'll hit it again and go back to the next one. So I'll just kind of watch it. If I can't see where it was, I'll hit it again and just kind of try to watch closely. And sometimes you can see right here where it's putting like that cross mark. So obviously that's where that is, and that's not what I'm needing. So I'm going to click on this one. So that one right there is one of the pieces of the eye, so I'm going to go ahead and click that one. Then I'll just keep going. So I'm going to go ahead and click the next one. So now you can see her eyes are perfect, so everything's fixed now. Now if I wanted to take off the girl power because you want to put whatever you want, like we put the type 1 diabetes warrior, I would just go through, because all this right here is the font for her arm. I would just go through here and click all of these pieces here to completely get rid of those. Just like that. Now there was those few pieces that we had filled in, and those were further down. I may go backwards and get rid of those. Now this file also has an issue with, there's a couple 2 dots that are randomly over here that are white. You guys can't see, like right here. I'll go and figure out which one those ones are. So I'll just kind of click here. And if they don't go away, then I know they're the dots here on her headband, so I'll put it back. And once you find them, like I found them, they were right next to each other. So I'll just kind of keep going here a little bit. All right, so I got those fixed. Okay, so one of the next things to do is we want to combine all the pieces. So I want to be able to make this to where the red's going to cut separately and keep these pieces together. Because let me show you, for example, if I hit make it it would take, see, these are all the hair pieces would be separate. This is what she would look like. So we'd be missing an eye and all that kind of stuff. It would kind of just separate it all out. So what we're going to do is hit cancel. So what we're going to do, I like to kind of bring it in here a little bit so we can see better. So at this point, what I need to do is hit, I'm going to select it, I'm going to hit ungroup. All right, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to select all my red pieces. Actually, one of the biggest things is it won't like let you, sometimes files like this, it won't let you kind of click on these red pieces like this. So what I have to do is I have to get the black out of here first, just like this. But you notice if I go to move her black, it's missing this piece in her eye. So this is what we've got to do. So let me hit undo. All right. So I need to grab this piece in the inside here. And then I need to click this back piece and click her eye and then move those out of the way like this. You can see another piece of her nose as well. Okay, so some of these pieces like this won't move and I can't get it to grab it. This is a very weird file. So like normally you would be able to figure that out. It's just not working. So what I do is I just kind of figure out exactly where it goes, and you can always duplicate the image so that way you can see that and move it into place. And then I'm going to go ahead and same thing with the lips. So I'm going to get the lips in here just like that. And then so now that's all one piece. So what I want to do with the black is I'm going to select it all, hit attach, just like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing with I'm going to do the red headband first. So I'm going to go ahead and start selecting these pieces here. Select every piece of this red, just like that. All right. So I'm going to grab them and move them out of the way, just so I can make sure that they're all attached. I'm going to hit attach. Then I'm going to select these two here. I'm going to hit attach just so they stay together. So now there's our red pieces. And then for the white, I just take and select all those, like, I just select them all just like this. And then I'm going to hit attach. So that way everything stays together. And what I'll do is I'll change that to white so I can remember that needs to be cut white, because it'll try to change itself to black. All right. So that's how that's going to work, just like that. It's just a little bit trickier. So don't feel discouraged. I mean, it sounds a little overwhelming, but sometimes you're just going to have to move little pieces like that to get them in place. Because sometimes, like this file is just super tricky, and it would not let me. I've already been through this once. It would not let me grab the pieces to get them to attach at all. So that's what I had to do. I had to just kind of eyeball it and move these pieces over. But like I said, I would recommend duplicating the image first, so that way you can make sure you get your alignment just right. So then when you send it to the mat just like this, you're going to have your white, which is your hair pieces, and your dot for the headband. And then you can see that she's all together now with her eyes and everything. And this goes to that other image, so just ignore that. Then when you get on the red pieces, you have the headband and the lips, just like that. So this lips will be together, and you can put them in there. Because I forgot to attach this, and that's why you've seen where I was putting those separately. Now let's go work on the alpaca. It was super easy. The font, like I said, was Skinny Things. So all I did was, for the alpaca, how I started this is I started with so once I got my uploaded image, I brought it in. So like I showed you a while ago, let me show you one more time. So you'd hit insert image. You could go ahead and flip it at this point, flip horizontal. And then I want to attach first and then change that to black, just like that. So that way everything's black. So I started with that, and I could change this as I go along. So then I would come over here to my font, type in Disney, and it's already set, but if not, I would come up here and type in Skinny Things. All right, and I would click it just like that. And once I had Disney, I'd bring it up here and figure out exactly where I want it, just like that. Say that I was happy with that. Then I would individually, so I'd come over here to text again. I would type out alpaca, bring it over here. And then I'm going to duplicate these just so you can see, but I would come over here. Let me ungroup this just so I can show you guys. All right, so say that I would type these out, because it'd be a lot faster for me to duplicate them, but just say that I was typing these out. So I'll just continue to line these up like this. I don't have to get them too perfect. I just want my spacing good between the sentences here. So what I'm going to do is sentences through the words. And then so I'm just going to keep lining them It's okay, I'll just move that. I didn't duplicate it. All right, duplicate. There. So then the next step that I did was I selected these ones here and I went to align to the right. So just like that. So that's how I had all those kind of lined up to the right like that. And then I had my Disney. So maybe I want to make my Disney just a little bit bigger, and I had it placed something like this. Now if I felt like my alpaca was too big at this point, I would size it down, just kind of playing with where you want those to go until you're really happy with them. Now once you have it exactly the way that you want, before you go to the mat, select it all like this and hit attach, just so they all cut in the exact same place. So I think that was covering everything on here. So I'm going to go ahead and go back through here, recut out the piece that I need, which is this teensy tiny piece of blood, like I said, that goes on top of here. And that's it. So here's those super cute shirts one more time. Super cute. I absolutely love the way they came out. So obviously going back, I was able to see that I was missing this little piece of the nose, and I should have welded or attached the two lips, obviously, and I need to cut out that that blood dot. So you kind of just see pieces, but it's going to be no big deal for me to cut out that little piece of the nose and iron it down really quick. So, so that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this and found it helpful, and I'll see you on the next one.